What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for Love and Hip Hop Miami, Season 3, Episode 4. So, we pick up where we left off with last week with Amara faking a panic attack because that wasn't real. Her ass just didn't want Julian and MJ to continue that conversation. So, she was like, what can I do? What can I do? Let me pretend like I'm having a panic attack. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And then the EMTs came over and was like, ain't nothing wrong with her. She alright. Get her some water. She good. So, then MJ comes over there and she's sitting with Prima Donna, and Prima Donna said it too. Prima Donna was like, oh, she was fine till she looked over there and saw the two of y'all talking. Whatever y'all was talking about, that's what got her upset. So then MJ is going to start telling Prima Donna about a situation where Julian slid in the bed with Amara one night when they were in LA doing some work or whatever. And so here's my thing. Well, I'll get to that in a second because Amara and MJ gonna have a conversation. So I'll address all of that when I get to that. Next thing you know, on the other side of the club, we have Amara and MJ end up leaving. On the other side of the club, because Amara was upset and you can see she was trying to get the man to stop talking. She didn't want him to tell that story. But we'll get back to that. Like I said, we'll get back to that because I got my eye on MJ. I'm not really feeling him. But we'll get to them. Then on the other side of the club, we have Brisco talking to Nikki and Shay. Because, Shay got mad at Amara. I thought she left, but she just went over and talked to somebody else. So she's talking to them. And Hood Brat, who last week I was kind of thinking Hood Brat was kind of cool, but this week I'm like, you starting some shit. Hood Brat said that, because last week we saw that she was cool with Nikki, natural Nikki, whatever the chick name is with her. She ain't that natural because she got on braces. But anyway, so she was talking to Suki. She said her friend is Suki. She said she cool with Nikki, but her and Suki go back like 4 fat tires. So she was telling her, last week she was telling, Nikki came into the bar and was telling me about the audition with Trina, and she was saying that she thought she was the best one there, even better than you. Now, I felt like that was an unnecessary bone to carry. If you cool with Nikki and you friends with Suki, Nikki wasn't talking shit about her. She just said, look, I felt like I was the best person in that audition. You should always feel like you're the best person at the audition. Even if you're not. Like, you can give somebody else their props. But I understand why Nikki even said it when they showed the clip back. Nikki even said, in my opinion, I was. Now, her opinion doesn't have to match everybody else's opinion in that room. But in her opinion, she was the best one there. Well, we know she thought she was the best one there because she didn't even feel like she needed to do a second rap. So we know she felt like she was the best person there. So Suki calls herself going over to Nikki to confront Nikki. And Nikki was like, I'm an entertainer. I'm supposed to think I'm the best person in the room. I ain't gonna never put nobody else above me. I didn't see the issue. Now, I ain't no Nikki fan. But I was like, what are we really doing here? Like, why are we arguing? So Suki gonna say, but you need to give me my props. You need to give people their props. And I was better than... Why are we confronting her about this? So Shay was sitting there, and Shay even said, like, it's not that serious. Why are we sitting here arguing over this petty stuff? Now, Shay, that was the right message, wrong messenger. Because you ain't in no position to tell nobody not to be petty. That just ain't your ministry, boo. No, it's not. So they were talking or whatever. Next thing you know, they got to arguing. Next thing you know, her and Shay got to fighting. Honey, Brisco picked up his drink and happily walked away. He saw where that was going and he wanted no parts of it. So Shay got put out. Shay, you're not tired of getting put out of places? Like, you were not tired of getting put out of places. But she ended up getting put out, honey. And that was that. So, the next day we see, Prima Donna and Tip meet up. Now, come to find out, Prima Donna and Tip were really good friends when Prima Donna lived in Miami before. And Tip feels like when Prima Donna decided to leave Miami to go to Atlanta, she pretty much left everybody behind, including her. She said, she didn't return my phone calls. She wouldn't talk to nobody no more. It was like she left all her old, her old family behind or whatever, friends and stuff behind. And so they were talking or whatever. And Prima Donna said, look, if you felt that way, I apologize. She said, but I was on my grind. I was about getting money. And I was always taught that when you leave, you don't go back. And so in my mind, when I left Miami, I had to leave everything in Miami. Because in my mind, it was like going backwards. She said, I came from the hood. I grew up in the hood. And, that was just my mindset. She said, but it was never my intention to make you feel like you weren't important to me or we weren't really friends. She said, and then, in hindsight, maybe I did go a little overboard, So they talked it out or whatever, and they cool. It's cool. And that's when Tip was saying that she's managing Suki, and Prima Donna went on to let her know what happened between Suki and Nikki. And, Tip was like, look, I need to talk to her because I'm really trying to get her to move in different circles, and I can't have her moving in different circles if she always gonna be starting fights and problems everywhere we go. So we got that. Oop. So then we see Tip meeting up with Suki, and Tip is trying to tell her, like, look, I heard about how things went down to the club the other night. She said, and at the end of the day, I'm trying to move you in a different direction. I'm trying to, put you in a situation where you making the kind of money you need to be making. We're trying to get you out of that social media and Instagram world. Nothing wrong with it, but, we just trying to move you in a different direction. And I can't do that if you keep sabotaging yourself. She was like, and she said this when she was talking to Prima Donna. She said, see, you don't even know her, but the first thing out your mouth was, oh, yeah, Suki, the one that was fighting. Like, that's not the reputation I want you to have. And if I'm going to be able to help, move you and get you in the right rooms and get you around the right people, then I need you to help me help you, And Suki basically was like, I ain't gonna, she's got that hood mentality. Well, I ain't gonna let no bitch play me, and I'm from the hood, and, I'm not gonna let nobody talk to me crazy, and I'm not gonna let nobody treat me any old kind of way. And I'm just like, Tip, you might as well just stop now. You spinning your wheels. You have the right mindset with the wrong client. And what I don't want to see you do is use up whatever capital you have in the entertainment business on somebody that's not going to help themselves. It's okay to be from wherever you're from. Everybody got a pass. But what you can't do is dwell in it at the detriment of your future. And unfortunately, that is where Suki is. Unless she changes her mindset, that is where she is. And that is what she's doing. And Tip, I hate to be the one to tell you, boo-boo, but I don't see where you're going to just bow out now, Tip. Bow out now. So then we see Nikki and Shay meet up. We got Nikki with her people, her kids, or I don't know, I guess they her kids, whatever. They meet down to the basketball court and they get to talking. And of course they having that, girl, yeah, I'm just getting to know Nikki, but I like what I know so far. And I didn't appreciate the way Suki came at her last week at the club. Excuse me. So they got to talking or whatever, and they bonded on the fact that they don't really like Suki. And we find out that damn Nikki done stole Suki's phone, and they showed the video back footage of when Shay and Suki were arguing. And Suki said that when she was talking to Tip, she said one of them bitches stole my phone. And I was thinking, why would they do? Honey, they done stole the chick phone. And she said, yeah, I took her phone because she was being disrespectful and she was talking all that shit. Yep, and I ain't giving it back either. You do know that in some places that's a felony. And let me tell you how it could be a felony. Because depending on the value of that particular phone, if it's over $500, in some jurisdictions, anything over $500 theft could be charged as a felony. I know this because I used to work in the juvenile detention center, and kids would steal people's phones and iPads off the subway and get arrested, and they was looking at being charged with a felony because the estimated value of the phone was over $500 or $1,000 or whatever the hell it was. Child. Anyway. So, they done hooked up, honey. Then we see Nikki meeting up with Joseline Hernandez. Joseline. I think I'm out of order now, but it is what it is. None of this matters what order it's in, child. Joseline Hernandez. Oh, I know what I missed. Hold on, what I want to do? I might as well go and finish talking about Joseline, honey. So we have Joseline Hernandez meeting up with Trina and Joy, and of course they telling them about what happened to the club. Joy's bringing them up to speed on what happened to the club, and of course Prima Donna name come up, and Joseline starts going off about Prima Donna and how she don't, of course she calling her Miss Piggy, and she don't fuck with her, and she don't like her, and this, that, and the other, honey. So that's gonna be that. Now let me get back to what I missed. I knew I had missed something. Amara La Negra and MJ, they're talking. And Amara is telling him how she didn't appreciate the fact that he brought up what happened in LA. She said, me and Julian were sharing a room, which is what we do. We always get a double bed. We share rooms a lot. And that particular night, he had too much to drink. He slid up in the bed with me. She said nothing happened. I never felt like he was going to try to, rape me or anything. But, I felt some kind of way about it. She was like, I called MJ and I told him about it. And I didn't appreciate the fact that he was telling everybody and he was spreading my business. Now, MJ, if you had a problem with Julian, which you as Amara's boyfriend was 100% within your rights to approach Julian about what happened. Let me be clear. You were 100% within your right to approach Julian about what happened. Let him know you didn't appreciate it. Let him know you had a problem with it. And don't let that shit happen again. Right? That's your woman. You're supposed to protect her like that. But what you did was you held on to it. Because that didn't just happen last week. That didn't just happen the week before. That had happened a while back when Amara told you about that situation. You held on to it and you waited to throw it at him in a moment where you was already coming at him. And you were coming at him about how he was managing Amara and money. You see what I'm saying? You waited to use it as a leverage and a conversation about money. What I think MJ is doing, I think MJ is trying to leverage himself to be Amara's manager. Amara, don't you do it. Don't you put that man in charge of your money now. I ain't saying Julian is the right option either, because I don't know. But don't you put that boy in charge of you. Don't you let that man be your manager, Amara. Don't you do that. Now, Joy was a woman about her stuff. Joy went up to Trick to let Trick know, look, I think I might have spoke out of turn about the Nikki situation. I think I was wrong. Okay? I think that, after getting more information, I might have misunderstood some things. And I don't think Nikki and Brisco actually slept together. And Trick was like, what you telling me for? She said, because y'all can go clear it up and y'all can get back together. I apologize that I kind of came in here with some sideways information. And he was like, look, when I first met Nikki, I did like her. Everything was cool, but she got too much drama for me. I ain't got time for it. That situation with Brisco, that ain't even, it's whatever. So, then she said, well, Trick, we got to find you a woman. Like, what is it? What do you like? He was like, look in the mirror. And Joy, here go Joy. Joy, you ain't this damn clueless, Joy. Joy said, I mean, all this time I thought Trick didn't want the divorce because he just didn't want to pay for it. But now I realize that I think he's still in love with me. Duh. Everybody knew that but you. Duh. Girl. So anyway, she realizes that Trick wants to be, and she was like, me and Trick, because we've known each other so long, we've agreed to still be in each other's life and be friends, but I don't want to hurt him because I'm just not interested in him like that anymore. Child. Anyway. Brisco and Hood Brad are in the studio. He talking about being out. She talking about her sister and having to step up and everything she going through. And, him saying, look, I respect what your struggle is. I respect what you had to go through, Then we have a scene with her and her nieces and nephews, and she's talking to them about how she knows she has to be there for them because of their mom. And I didn't like that scene only because I think that situation is very sensitive. I think it's a very deep situation, and I just didn't necessarily like seeing the kids being brought into that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have a scene with Brisco talking about how you struggling and how it still hurts and all of that, yeah, that's fine. But I ain't like bringing the kids into that. And the kids were sitting there like, are you getting ready to cry, auntie? I ain't like that. Anyway, but that's just me. But that's basically what it is. We just got a deeper glimpse into what she's going through with, having to... And I thought she was raising her niece and nephew, but she's not. Her grandma, her mother is, but she's actually helping to financially take care of them. So that was a little bit different because I thought she was actually, they were physically, living with her. Okay, so then we have this scene with Amara with this horrible wig. Amara, don't you never wear that wig no more. I know people don't like your afro wig, but I would prefer you wearing the afro wig to that thing you had on your head in this scene. But okay. But she's meeting with her manager and with MJ. And basically, she was thinking about leaving Julian, leaving his management company, and getting new representation. And she wanted her lawyer to figure out, read over all of her contracts and pretty much figure out what her rights were. And Amara signed one of them crazy ass contracts that artists signed. And basically Julian said that if she chooses to leave him, he wants 100% of her masters. Now, I always think that that's real fucked up when managers do that to artists. It's their blood, sweat, and tears. I'm not saying I'm not saying that you don't leverage to try to keep a percentage. I get that. That's business. But 100%? 100% of her masters? I just think that's greedy. Whenever I hear about managers who do that to their artists, I always think that they're the lowest form of scum. And so Julian, what little bit of traction you gained with me last week when you were able to show the documents and show that you didn't really steal Trina's money, you just lost all of it. Because I just think that's real fucked up. That this woman, Amara writes a lot of her music. She certainly is performing her music. And that's not to say that you have not done things for her, but 100%. But then Amara, I put some of that on you. Because you clearly signed paperwork that gave him that kind of control. And I know that you're young and all of that other stuff, but at the end of the day, the story has been told a million times, a million different ways by a million different artists. And it don't take nothing to get somebody to read paperwork behind you before you sign it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So... And then, of course, Amara was being her dramatic self. Oh, no, Julian, you can't do this to me. No, Julian, no, don't do this to me. He's not in the room. Who are you talking to? And, of course, MJ is sitting in. And then she starts off by saying, this one MJ really pissed me off. Because she started off by saying, well, I just want to say that, Julian is my friend. He go, MJ, he your friend. That's what got us in this situation in the first place. You thinking he your friend. See, here's the thing, MJ. Julian was around before you were, and he might be around after you. I'm going to need you to just slow your ass down a little bit. Really. I'm going to need you to just slow down a little bit, bruh. Anyway, so we're going to see how that goes down, child. We're going to see how that goes down. Last but not least, Prima Donna is having sort of a relaunch party. All white party. She had on emerald green, honey. She said white is for the purity, green is for the money. And she had all her friends down to the Miami to help her celebrate the relaunch and the refocus of her company and all of her different products. Trick rolled up in there with a white tee on and not near a bit of white else anywhere else. She said you could at least took your gold teeth out and had white teeth. Prima Donna, if you think them teeth are white underneath them gold teeth that he been wearing for the last 30 years, boo. 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 Brisco was there. And again, Brisco was on his grown man. And he went up to Trick and said, look, let me tell you the situation with you and Nikki. I ain't know y'all was messing around. Ain't nothing really happened between me and Nikki. I think some things I said got misunderstood. And I just want to let you know that I ain't never put it out there to disrespect her like that. Trick said, look, bruh. I done known you since you was a kid. I done known you since you started rapping. We ain't gonna never fall out over no broad, right? Now, as soon as Trick Daddy said them words out his mouth, he regretted them. Because the next thing out of Brisco's mouth was, yeah, me and Joy went out on a date. You was better off just leaving it with Nikki, because he ain't care about Nikki. But Joy might be a problem. And Trick was like, oh, for real? Oh, you did? Brisco, you should have just quit while you was ahead, bruh. You might have wanted to say that Joy conversation for a different day at a different time. Anyway, last but not least, y'all, Prima Donna is welcoming her guests, thanking everybody for coming out and all that good stuff. And here comes the big old truck backing up into the venue because it was an outdoor little situation. And who come popping up on the screen? Miss Joseline Hernandez. Hey, Piggy. Hey, Miss Piggy. It's me. You're in my city. You're in my this, my that. And you know I'm the baddest bitch. And I'm the baddest this. And I'm the baddest that. And I got a gift for you in the truck. Now, because this is love and hip hop. And because it's Joseline Hernandez. And it ain't just, she just ain't that damn clever. I knew exactly what was in the truck. Now, I thought it was going to be a live pig. Because she been calling the woman Miss Piggy since she started talking about Prima Donna. So I knew it was going to be something pig related. But I thought it was going to actually be a live little pig, a little piglet. But it was actually just like cut up pig, pork. And that's where we ended. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.